off the shit with my brother. I'm off the shit with my brothers. Keep lethal weapons and Glover. First make a young nigga thugger. You know best friend is a cover. Girl on me bouncing like flubber. Boy young with money like stunner. 300 a pint pour all summer. Shoot on sight if you fuck with my come up. Your boy got a license to stunt this. Shoot on sight isn't right, but we gunning. Sippin' Sprite pour all night at the function. Yeah, we bump 21, ain't no jumping. See the X and the X did the dumb shit. Said I rock one-on-one how I've done shit. In your eyes, see you jump if I smoke this. Bump an X when I flex for the youngin'. Your boy got a license to stunt this. Shoot on sight isn't right, but we gunning. Sippin' Sprite pour all night at the flight at the funk. Pull up to the club. Pop that.
I can't do this right now.
Your boy got a license to start this. Shoot on sight isn't right, but we gunning. See the spike for all night at the flight at the funk. Hot, too nice is a setup. Drift out, head to toe, peep to get up. Said the young'll be stunting in any sweater. You think you could do it better, but really could never measure. Got a Glock engraved with your name on it. And some special designs, this is a game for me. Tiptoed on the beat in Balenciagas. Dipped out of your crib in my Gucci floppers. Your boy got a license to start this. Shoot on sight isn't right, but we gunning. Super Sprite pour all night at the flight at the funk. Pull up to the club. Pop that.
I can't do this right now.
Y'all fucking hit me with the
Well, it's a new week, and that means a new stream, and personally, I'm looking forward to it, and that's what we're going to do today here at True North Studios. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the show. My name is Evan, not really Evan Johnson, joined, of course, by one Mr. Patrick Smoke Chambers. Patrick, how are we doing on this lovely Tuesday evening?
Oh, I mean, everything's going quite swell back on the True North cast. And honestly, you know, this is a place that I'm going to be calling home for a few more weeks as we go down this line this summer. And hey, you know what? Happy to be here because we have had a banger last time that I was on the desk and hopefully looking to get another one today. Thirdsite versus Manx recovery program. Evan, you know, we were breaking this one down a little bit in our notes. Let's start with maybe just the rosters and who we have today to be shown.
Yeah, this Thirdsite team, this is sort of a revamped roster that is representing the Thirdsite banner. This coming in as Cisco, Kvostov, the Jakinator, Coster Funk, and Vitality. Meanwhile, on the other side, on the Manx Recovery Program, some familiar faces if you've been watching some True North streams before. Manx, Blue Bear, Titans, Yin Yang, and Taz. I mean, this is a team that it's had some success in the past. Yin Yang and Taz, I mean, these guys coming in as subs, but we'll kind of break into it a little bit later. These guys have been putting up some big numbers for this Max Recovery team. 6-6, the record for both of these teams, coming in 72nd and 87th placements respectfully. I mean, some good, some decent middling numbers, but not really enough to really lock in a playoff spot at this point. I think every win matters right now if you're wanting to try and keep your season on life support. But Patrick, I think honestly the reality for both these teams is you lose tonight and that's probably it for your season.
Yeah, it was kind of the same scenario last week as well, but even then, even if you go 7-6, right? I mean, there's no path going forwards here where you control your own destiny. You're going to have to win out for the rest of the season as you know it. And you're also going to need some of the top teams to drop a few games here or there. So, again, for both of these teams, like you said, a win to stay alive, a loss, and, well, that's probably going to do it for you guys as well. Especially when we think about how dangerous this could be given the current form that both of these squads are in right now, right? I mean, we talk about Thirdsite, obviously. They have dropped, as of literally just a few minutes ago, the last 6 maps on their board. And you look at Manx Recovery Program as well, MRP, they've only won 2 out of the last 5. So, again, it is sort of this thing where both teams, they're in questionable form. They really need a bounce back, and more for Thirdsite than anybody. But at the same time, that just makes me think about the hot start that they kind of got off to. Hopefully they can recapture some of that success that they would have had earlier this season.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing. A really good start to the year, but, you lose your last 6 of 7, and, things get a little dicey after that. I mean, they come out of another loss literally a couple minutes ago, 13-4 loss in the hands of Clockwork. So Thirdsite looking to rebound, and they're looking for some answers on their roster, which is a perfect segue for us to talk about our Thirdsite sponsored segment of the day, our Canadian player highlight. As always, we want to give a shout out to Thirdsite for partnering with us here at True North Studios and allowing us to do what we love to do, and that's broadcast Counter-Strike. So if you're interested in learning about Thirdsite's operations and how they want to grow the Canadian Counter-Strike scene, give them a follow on social media, give them a look-see, and give them a shout. Tell them True North Studios sent you. But with that being said, we'll take a look at who on their roster is representing the Great Wide North tonight. It's Vitality coming in, nice little team in the pro scene, making his debut in the ESEA, really, really nice. 1.03 KD ratio, ELO of 2,224. ADR coming in at 75.8. Definitely respectable as the main opper for this Thirdsite team. And Patrick, I think I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do tonight for this team, because clearly they need some sort of a boost to get themselves out of this funk they find themselves in.
I mean, I don't know if anyone is capable here, especially Vitality, of putting up any Zywoo-esque performances, but at the end of the day, when you have an opper named Vitality, you gotta think that, hey, you know what? The Canadian player highlight, you gotta have your eye on him, and you don't want to let him get hot. We saw last time around when it was Storm Surge, the coach was coming in, Ramen, and absolutely dominated Anubis as this just insane opera to really rally the troops. Vitality going to be your name going to be in the headlights in terms of a performance that you need to boost your team back into winning record.
Yeah, I mean, an opera can change the face of a round so quickly, and I mean, the amount of space you can get and control on a map just with the mere presence of an opera being alive, you can really do a lot. So, combined with Cisco as your IGL, you're hoping the Vitality is going to be able to come in and provide this much-needed boost to Thirdsite. But, we mentioned maps and how an opera can really control a map, and we had to look at where we might be playing our best of one today. And of course, as always, our map prediction segment sponsored by Counter-Strat. If you want to find the best tool to improve your Faceit or Premier games, give Counter-Strat a check. Check out player vetoes, map patterns, movement patterns for enemy teams, scout ahead, do your research, and win as much as you can. Give a shout out to Counter-Strat. Go sign up for their program. Tell them True North Studios sent you, and start improving today. And talk about maps. I mean, Bronze just told me to straight up guess. I mean, based off of the Counter-Strike data, we were sort of hitting on a Nuke or Mirage pick, maybe a Dust 2 wildcard, but I don't know, Patrick, what are you thinking based on the stats, the raw data?
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, you got two teams here that are really strong at a bunch of different maps as well. Mirage would definitely favor Manx Recovery a lot more, but at the end of the day, I think that both teams actually have a very strong Ancient. And I think that, Thirdsite, a team that you wouldn't want to necessarily be taking into Ancient this time around, but something just tells me that it's going to be my wild card instead of that Dust 2. That being said, still give me Mirage and Nuke just for the playability.
Well, I think that's a good explanation, and we're gonna see who's right tonight. We didn't get it last week, but maybe we can rebound this week. Oh, Patrick, look at you doing the extra research tonight and pulling out Ancient. Good shout from you, and I think so. I mean, I think Ancient, people call it Green Mirage sometimes. I mean, this is a map that so many teams will have a lineup for, and it could definitely go both ways. Sometimes we do an Ancient game and it feels very CT sided. Sometimes the T's just completely dominate. I will say, we were talking about operas. I do feel like Ancient is one of these maps that you don't really have a T sided op presence just based on how the map works. But that being said, you do see it pulled out. Sometimes. That's not to say it won't happen ever, but definitely more favors a CT opera with the lanes that they have. Like, this control in mid and red room is just so important to gaining mid control in these mid to late rounds of the game, that when you're looking at vitality, that's going to be the guy you're looking for to make sure you have this critical juncture of the map, because losing your opera or not having an effective opera shuts down so many opportunities and will open up the map completely for the T's.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is where you get really dangerous if you're Manx recovery program, because in the last 20 games, right, they've played Ancient twice. They've won one and lost one. The problem is Thirdsite, they play it so much that we can actually track the legacy on it. They have 99 plays on this map so far with a 56% win rate. And for the last games that they've played on it in the recent 20 games, they've won all 6 of them. These guys have gone back to back to back times 6. They're absolutely on fire.
Well, they're going to have to. This first round, no ceremonial knife round this time. We're just getting off to a really hot start. Thirdsite going to be starting on the tees and looking to take space in Donut, but look at Godly Gods, a triple to open us up here in round number 1.
Right, and I see that, you had your notes ready on Godly Gods right now, Evan, because this guy can really just pop off at any time when needed to. Give him 5 thus far, and man, the ace to start immediately. Godly Gods on a heater.
Yeah, you're right. We didn't get to talk about it in the pre-show, but this Manx recovery program, sort of cycling through subs on their team. And when we had these guys on previously, Godly Gods was called up and asked to step in on this roster, and he made a huge effort and just huge boost for this Manx recovery program team. So this is a guy, here's a guy that could really get going and really make an impact early. And clearly we've seen that with an ace to open things out. Definitely not how Thirdsite wanted to start this game today.
Right. I mean, the stack up right now on Ruins, these two players in Kovstov and Cisco, so patient right here, trying to see if they can bait out Titans to just work his way through, ramps onto the door side, but Titans instead is going to force the issue and finds a triple. Such strong gunplay out early when you really had a man disadvantage. Granted, that Uzi definitely working a lot better against some pistols.
Unfortunately, gun diff is a very real thing in these early rounds, and
Yeah.
back-to-back triples now for Manx recovery program. They're definitely off on the right foot. Have yet to see really any resistance for this Thirdsite team who are looking for their first kill in round number 2. Still not going to happen as Titans. I mean, he almost goes ace for ace with his teammate, but Godly Gods greets that final kill, and Manx recovery program, they take their advantage and even deny Thirdsite that plant. So this econ already not off to a good start. Now Thirdsite forced to buy in, and if they can't get around here, it's definitely going to look like a long night at the office.
Or a short one, depending on what side you're kind of playing it at, right? I mean, at the end of the day, Ev, these are best of ones, right? I mean, so much can be decided so quickly, especially when you get into the mental. The second a team gets taken out of it, it's not like you got a second map to climb back in. You got to put up or shut up. And now, Manx trying to see if they can line up a little bit more towards the tunnel side of things as you look at Thirdsite now, pressing into mid. Trying to see with some smokes if they can isolate a pick, but so far, the defense of Manx, very, very patient.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really tough for Thirdsite to break these. Do stack up in Donut, but it's going to be even harder now that Titan's just continuing to fry with this MP7. He's going to back himself into Jaguar and just going to leave it there at that. As Thirdsite trying to reset the rotation. Kabostov finds the first, Vitality another one, but numbers continuing to dwindle for Thirdsite. 2v2. Do have some low HP on two of these members, but so far it's been off to a fast and furious start. We are going to get our first plant down for Thirdsite, and now they have a chance to stave off these attacking defenders.
Yeah, and now Godly trying to work his way up through a short, but look at the double stack right here towards the CT. This is going to be very difficult for Blue Bear to get by. Or he could just completely find one looking the other way. The cross is at least found on the refrag, but Cisco, he's got to make sure he plays this right. Godly God swinging out fast. He just barely saw the foot. The re-swing, he has it, but I don't think,
he doesn't have a kit.
Not enough time on the board without a kit to be able to get this
does,
one
but
down.
Oh my
He
goodness.
does! Are you kidding me? Wait.
I
Hold
didn't
on.
see. I didn't.
I didn't
you know,
see
that's,
a kit either.
That one's
Did he
on
pick
me.
it up?
No. That one was on me. I didn't think I saw one on the HUD, but just barely squeaking by. We're gonna go back to cam.
Wait,
we're going back to cams for
blunder
a
there,
second.
my bad.
Because we're going back to cams for a second because that is a little bit crazy. Like, you're doing everything right in that situation. If you're Thirdsite, you're in a situation where you don't necessarily need to find the kill. You just have to try and waste as much time as you can, try and delay this re-aggressing defender to defend the site. But unfortunately, Manx recovery program, MRP, whatever you want to call them, they're clearly feeling themselves right now. They're not afraid to swing in these positions, and Godly Gods, he knows that he has the kid in that situation, and you literally had to swing it now, last chance opportunity, and he just took it. And I mean, he's put up 7 in 3 rounds, Patrick. I mean, just an absolute stunner of a start for MRP, and Thirdsite do at least get a little bit of money to be forced back into a buy, but again, like we saw last time, if they can't start to generate some round wins, it's going to be really, really tough if they want to try and generate some momentum.
Yeah, as now you can immediately see that Thirdsite, they're trying to eye this A pressure, but Yin Yang is going to immediately find 2, get the third as well. I mean, this is just tough. This op just taking them down one after the other, cannot find the ace, but at the same time, Coster Funk, you've got more than a mountain to climb if you want to get yourself back into this one.
I mean, what an effort from Yin Yang. I mean, just calm and collected with the op to defend, this A long site. But now let's see if Thirdsite can at least get something. I mean, I think best case scenario, You get the bomb planted. I mean, you're probably not going to be able to recover the op. But I think a plant is about the best thing you can do. Oh, you might be able to find this lurking player in CT, but didn't expect Godly Gods to be holding this connector lane. And Manx recovery program blanking Thirdsite to start this one. They retained the op as well. Now Thirdsite put into another tough situation. I mean, it's not going to be a fully healthy buy across the board. You will have at least one hero rifle, and you're going to be forced to take another timeout. I mean, consecutive rounds, consecutive timeouts, and it just seems that nothing is really working early for this Thirdsite team.
Look, I mean, it's not over till it's over, and we definitely found out
True.
with Storm Surge how that is last time around, but you really need a huge call from your coach or IGL on this timeout here. Something has to change because at the end of the day, the mental's already seemingly down. And I think, you know, it's tough going into this matchup when, Evan, these guys just got out of a 13-4 and not in their favor for Thirdsite, right? So already they've had a little bit of a blunder of their previous game, and now they find themselves down 4-0. I mean, I really don't want to be the one putting myself in their shoes because they got to feel quite uncomfortable to walk in.
So far, but we'll see if these T's can find some success just walking up A-long. I mean, nobody home in the Manx recovery program. They're just going to waltz right in. Manx is going to find at least one. Godly God's good for another, but Thirdsite, they have control of A. They get this plant down finally, and now they can at least establish a little bit of defense, although you do have Vitality, a very late lurk in mid, hoping to try and find some of these re-aggressing players, but if you're Thirdsite, you need this round, and you need it bad.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to crash on through the connector lane, and at the end of the day, hope that gun diff can help them out. Vitality on that lurk, like you said, did find one, and sure, time is becoming a factor, but you should have people being able to defend this. Hold on, that's an absolutely massive kill. Blue Bear going to be able to find two, but you got to start the fuse and have the hold. It will be done. And by the skin of their teeth, Manx recovery, they have the proper coverage for the diffuser. They will be able to take their fifth.
And again, similar to what we saw in that previous round, Thirdsite, they do a really good job at taking space and getting onto the point. They're just not able to hold it out. This Manx recovery retake has been really, really strong thus far. And Thirdsite, you know, they almost got away with it, finding the first pick onto the diffuser, but the money is just so good for Manx recovery right now that you would have to assume that every single CT on their side has a kit. And same thing in this round as well. It's just you've already fallen behind in the economy race. It's going to be so hard to get back in, and even harder if guys like Titans can continue to frag at such a high level. That's two. Make it a third for Manx recovery program, completely stymieing Thirdsite at any attempt to take this B site.
I mean, what can't this guy shoot right now? Him and Godly have just been, well, simply godly. There's not really a whole other way to put it right there. When you have Thirdsite players walking at you, they've been able to shut them down in every facet granted to them. And now Manx, all they got to really do here is just play off the man advantage. Don't take any stupid solo gunfights and just play off contacts, and you should be looking to get yourself a round under your belt.
Ooh, Vitality. He's going to eat some bullets there, but going to send out that flash mid, maybe trying to find at least somebody, but Godly God's a little too quick on the trigger finger, so all up to cost your fuck. I mean, it's 1v5. I mean, it's virtually impossible, you would think.
So
but
low, too.
At least, yeah, I mean, 9 HP. I mean, this is... Okay, I mean, he's good for another one, but not a great spot to reload if you're doing it in the open. Another failed attempt from Thirdsite, and it all comes off of these plays from Manx recovery where they want to find impact plays to start around. You know, it's either opening with a triple or opening with a double. It doesn't even take that long for them to just swing the round in their favor, and it's tough if you're Thirdsite because there's just not much you can do if you're losing 2 or 3 members within the first 15 to 20 seconds of a round.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just tough. Manx, they've just been able to have so much control through mid, and it's really granted them a lot of control through the heaven side as well in the lamps, and it makes it so tough to really find any cross progression. If you need to pull back, it's forcing Thirdsite to really have to commit to one thing, and even if it hasn't been working. And guess what? That's been the tale of the tape so far. Blue Bear now smokes right in front of him on the Doors of Ruins. Just have to stay calm as you've got, unknowingly to him, 3 bodies from Thirdsite waiting on the other end. But, he, again, doesn't have to aggress through this, doesn't have to force anything, can just simply sit back and make sure that you take angles that favor you. I will say the blind goes down quite well, and it's going to be able to give 2 to Thirdsite, and that's a great start for getting yourself back into things, albeit Yin Yang with a crucial wallbang.
Still making an impact. Yin Yang, Manx, just a quick trigger finger discipline. Finds the head of Vitality. Not good to find the Jakeinator, who's keeping Thirdsite in this round. Space taken up in Red Room now for Thirdsite. Do have a lot of mid control, but with the way this Manx defense is set, there's always going to be somebody who's going to be able to discern the play. I mean, you're either going to have Godly Gods make the call, or you're offering Yin Yang find it. But now with Godly Gods taken out, it's going to be up to Yin Yang. And in this situation, I mean, you're already up 6 and you're so far away. Yeah, I don't even think there's a reason to do this. You just save the op, concede their first round, and just go next.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't help but agree with you here, Ev. There's, again, no reason to me why you would attempt anything here. Just play your life and keep a gun. And now, you start thinking for Thirdsite, good that you can at least get around under your belts, but 6-1 down, and it's definitely going to take a lot to claw yourself back into it.
I mean, it's definitely a start, right? I mean, sometimes, the long journeys start with one step. It's not about the journey, it's about the destination, so they say. And Thirdsite, at least they're on their way to maybe finding some success in this first half. But, I mean, you said it, Patrick. It's definitely going to be a very uphill battle for this team, but it's at least something. But I think you just need to find a way to shut down guys like Titans and Godly Gods, because they've just been wreaking havoc in the server to start this game. And I think Manx Recovery, they're already heading out fast and furious, off back in the hands of Yin Yang, so they want to retake control of this game. They want to do it right now.
Yeah, and again, you lean on players like Jakeinator, who we know can pop off with some crazy performances. Just recently came out with 61% headshot accuracy on an 89 ADR in a LAN, in last LAN, right, that he was at. So, again, it's not like you don't have talent on the side of Thirdsite. You just got to know where to put it. And right now, Manx and company, they've just simply been in a better spot at the better time. But a little bit of a response here. Unfortunately, Yin Yang shuts it down. Man, anytime you think you have space, Yin Yang on this op has just been able to really lock down insanely crucial areas for Manx to hold on to rounds.
And Thirdsite, I mean, really been trying to press the issue over towards this A site, but Manx Recovery Program, they've really been bolstering their defense up in Donut, up in Short. I mean, it just gives them so much control, because not only can you rotate around near A, you also are able to get this mid control as well, because it's so close. And for Thirdsite, I mean, I don't hate, let's just keep trying A and see if it works, but at some point we need to try and maybe change up the play call. I mean, we're going to get our final timeout. All of Thirdsite's timeouts being burned in the first half of this game, and I think Cisco IGL, I mean, we gotta make some calls here, brother, because it's just not been working out, and I think we need something to just get the boys going again. Let's figure something out, try and make an impact, try and just get Manx Recovery just a little bit off kilter, and just try and get your foothold to maybe get a little bit more momentum on your side, because it's very quickly slipping away.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to get any easier from here on out. You got to make sure that every round can be under your belt as much as you can make it, because now you're getting to scenarios where no matter what, one round is at the cost of 2. We're getting into this play again now where Manx Recovery, you could give away a second. You might be looking at a 9-2 the second you give one up for Thirdsite. So Manx recovery now. Loading up as both teams do on the mid side, and immediately look at that. I mean, it's just Titans and Blue Bear with crucial positions to shut down the players through ruins.
Yeah, I mean, they even did what I said. They even tried to take the space on towards B, but
and then we're finding out why.
But the defense in Jaguar just a little bit too good, and you see that Manx, they're not afraid to really get up close and personal with this defense. Like, you see the way they're spread out now. They are not giving them any room, and by them I mean Thirdsite. There's just no room to breathe right now. I mean, and you have this Opera looking down ramp. I mean, for Vitality, I mean, you're investing in the T side off to, you know, try and get something here, but at this point, you don't want to say the round's already lost, but if you can't get this Opera here, I mean, you might as well just call this one wraps, because at this point, it's just not going to be much. Oh, we did get a little bit of a boost, so Vitality, and in the end, you know, the superior position is at least going to push Yin Yang back a little bit, but this HE grenade going to slow things down a little bit. Funk nestling himself into a corner until L10. It's a flash. Godly Gods with a double off the back of that flash from Manx. Going to clean it up. And they recover and find number 8.
Had to wonder if it was even going to matter. I mean, the second you get both of their positions called out, right, you saw the pincer effect that Manx recovery was doing. So, at the end of the day, you know, it was all for naught for Thirdsite on that round, and now going into round 10 down 8-1, Ev, you know, it's unfortunate, but sometimes games just go this way. Thirdsite, it's going to be kind of I got to see it to believe it right now from them, because Manx is just all over this one, and it's mainly due to the presence that Yin Yang has on the B to mid side.
And it's just all the defense for Manx, you know, has been coming up clutch and so huge, and now we're seeing a lot of tentativeness being shown from Thirdsite, using these smokes set up from Manx to be a little bit patient and wait. You know, this buy isn't the most healthy in the world, but you do at least have Funk with a full belt of utility. And that's not a terrible start. Jake and Nader able to find one, and Yin Yang forced out of this red room position because of that molly. So now Thirdsite, you have the ability to take space on the map, but what can you do with it? We've seen it's just a very dominated Manx recovery game. I really want to see Thirdsite prove to us what they can do as a squad and how they can fight for more rounds.
Yeah, and if you're Funk, you do not take another step forward, young man. This is being watched so well by Yin Yang, and it's mainly keeping everyone, because his mid presence isn't being taken right now, at least as well as it could be from Thirdsite. They have a lineup on B for everybody, but guess what? Manx is all over it. Hey, you know what? The pick does go down from Funk, but immediately it's answered back with the utmost of trades, and we're not just talking about one. That's the whole team that's going to have to pay a heavy fee for that pick in mid.
One thing I will say is that Manx recovery, they do a really good job at finding the trades and the refrags when they need to. Somebody from Thirdsite are able to find a kill, but Manx recovery, they always seem to be in a position to either rotate their defense or just find a way to re-aggress and find the kill, and that's why they've been able to fight so well, especially with, you know, numbers advantages typically not benefiting them. So now they've set themselves up very, very comfortably. Rush B and press W is the play. They're going to rush to the molly, but Cisco going to whiff on those shots. Thankfully, Kavastov on that kind of flash is going to find another one, but Blue Bear takes out this player in Cave, and now with the bomb down, Manx recovery, another chance to find a refrag, and Thirdsite, they haven't been able to upgrade to any rifles for these picks they've gotten. Vitality, though, is going to swap to the M4, but time is ticking away. 2v2 Vitality, massive pick to find Godwin Gods. It's all up to Yin Yang with the op. Going to find Jake, and they're going to try and make his way, is going to try and tap the bomb. Space now on ramp. Vitality playing this so patient. Smoke out as well from Yin Yang. My goodness! With the quick scope, it is going to defuse once again. Manx recovery playing with our heartstrings, and they find double digits. My God!
And you gotta think that's gotta be it, Ev. You gotta
You know
think it
what?
at that
I
point.
think
That
so.
might be
I think so.
the icing on the cake right there. The cherry on top. Because when you're looking at a play like that, Yin Yang, the quick scope down to ramp, immediately toying with the bomb timer. It doesn't get much better than that, does it, Ev, in terms of pop-off moments, and you gotta think that the adrenaline is at an all-time high right now for MRP.
Man, the money is so good for MRP. I mean,
They're rolling in it!
We have 2 ops right now. I mean, why not? It's round 12. It's the last round of the half, and I mean, you could put yourself in a position to win if you get pistol in the next one. So Manx recovery, I mean, off to a good start in this half, but maybe not in this round as Thirdsite, a little bit of life being shown here in round number 12 as they find 3 vitality. Gonna pick up another pick, but can't keep him down yet as Godly Gods just tapping away and finding Osterfunk, and Manx adding another one. So in a round that I thought Thirdsite was almost guaranteed to win, Manx potentially can get this clutch. Bomb is down. He's gonna have to move quickly. I would expect him to maybe swap off this op, but no intel being known. Does have the smoke to set up a potential defuse. These players from Thirdsite might have to try and get lucky with the spam through the smoke. One tap goes out, Frank as well, but the shots connect eventually. Cisco finally stops the bleeding. Thirdsite still alive, but barely. And if they can't get this pistol, Max recovery, they'll be cruising to an easy win on Ancient. Everything hinges for Thirdsite on this incoming pistol round.
Cruising or just like walking one step? Because that's simply what they'll be if they get the next 2, obviously, off of that pistol conversion. So when you look at the play, obviously, glad that Thirdsite are able to find one and get it under their belt. But at the same time, you know, that round we thought was all but over. I was going to note, though, 2 players were very low. And, you know, in a situation like that, never count Manx out, as now MRP going to be transitioning over to a lot of mid-presence. Having the lower T side, look at the player walking in. So they're just going to be able to get the connect on as Blue Bear, double headshot to open things up. And now MRP, they've got their lane. They know where they want to go here. And the onus now on Thirdsite. We'll see how they elect to retake.
And this isn't anything we haven't seen from this Manx team, is their confidence. I mean, we just saw it. It's just press W and go through Jaguar, and they just get those kills. But look at this now. 2 taps coming through for Cisco. That's a nice little headshot, but these CTs, they just can't stop. Manx with the headshot onto Cisco, silencing Thirdsite once again as Manx recovery in a prime position to get to match point.
Yeah, I don't know, lad. I don't know if we're getting this one done. This is a very tough game right now and a tough night overall for Thirdsite. Shout out Manx, though. If they can get this win, they'll at least be 3-3 and get to 500 on their last 6 games played. Mainly due to players like Godly Gods, who have just been going absolutely feral in this matchup. I mean, look at it, 19 to his name, and you have quite the decent support staff around you all game. Manx, the only player on that team who's negative, let alone not in double digits, 12-2. And I mean, I'll just go ahead and say this one right here. Barring a miracle, this is all she wrote.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it for Thirdsite there. I mean, we're just throwing things at the wall and hoping it works out. Really, really getting aggressive. And I don't hate the ideas that sometimes when you get put into these eco situations, sometimes the best way to win is to maybe just get aggressive and surprise the other team. But unfortunately for Thirdsite, is that they're maybe a little bit, you know, the numbers are a little bigger than they expected in Elbow, so they weren't able to walk away with that. But let's see what they can do in this round on CT. Titans, though, is going to slime out the J-Canator as B now under control of MRP is this Thirdsite. They find 2 picks, make it a third. They're trying to re-aggress Kabostov, not able to hot swap by Kelly, picks up that kill. And now with Manx, the only one left in this 1v2, I should say now. Not even going to happen as Cisco cleans it up, but Look at this. Thirdsite not dead yet off of back of a nice kill from Vitality. It's been a quiet night for your Opper, but able to pick up another one there. Thirdsite still alive, but just barely.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, if you're Manx, you've lost momentum, and for Thirdsite, that's the start you need to claw yourself to a comeback. Again, like we said, you can't say it's over till it's over technically, as, you know, go back to when I was saying, hey, I don't know about this one, lad. Listen, you know what? I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know, Evan, if you know NBA, it's not impossible for Joakim Noah to hit a three, okay? It's not.
Sure.
But more than likely, I would not be a betting man to say that he downs it. Titans now running it through the fire and the flames to get up this mid-side. Kosterfunk going to be able to down Blue Bear as Cisco gets traded out. Initially, Titans has been so damn good with refrags thus far tonight.
That's been one of the strengths of this MRP squad, but gonna add a couple more as Thirdsite still fighting now. Starting to get some momentum built up on this easy side. Yin Yang and Manx, the last two left standing. Kosterfunk is going to eat a lot of damage there. 3 HP left, still standing. Really going to get aggressive into Jaguar. Still not going to find anything, although with this timing, little does he know if he swings out, he would have a free pick onto Yin Yang, who's just going to back his way up closer towards T-Spawn. Because Manx has already started to move on the other side of the map. And if you're Vitality, you really need to make sure you're aware of the potential rotating player, because this round, sure, you have the man advantage, can quickly turn on its head if the bomb goes down, because Vitality's the only one who has the kit, and now that he's down, no kits online for Thirdsite, and Manx, all you have to do is just get this bomb down and just try and hold out and stall, and you have the util to maybe do that.
I mean, this could be it right here. The second that pick gets found on Vitality, the site, the gap, it is taken. And MRP
pick up a kit, though.
Holding this very close. Like you said, the kid is there, but Manx, they did not probably expect him to swing out. That being said, Klostov has found one. And now, Manx playing around this temple side. Has to be so careful, but he finds the pickup. Wins the 1v1, gets the last two, and downs Thirdsite in 16.
Well, Patrick, you were talking about NBA references, and I think, unfortunately, that Thirdsite win on CT was very much a Chris Paul hits a massive three to cut the lead to 42 type moment. Unfortunately, it goes like that, but I mean, for Thirdsite, they just got in the hole way too early, and they couldn't get themselves out of it. And for Manx Recovery Program, I mean, you got to give them credit. You know, they've been sort of middling these last couple weeks, and I think this is a great win for them to sort of reassert themselves as a team that has a very aggressive mentality. You know, they're not afraid to ego swing and show off their talents, and, you know, they definitely showed out tonight. I mean, a fairly dominant win on Ancient. Thirdsite, I mean, like, you know, we've been talking about the struggles that this roster unfortunately has been going through, and make that 2 losses now on the night, but as a team, Patrick, it's where do you go from here? You know, you've had some pretty tough times, and what do you do to sort of right the ship and go to the next one?
You know, I don't want to appear as like the negative Nancy here, right? But at the end of the day, Thirdsite, that was your best map. You are 6 for 6 of that one in the last 20 games played. You've played it 6 times. You were literally flawless on it, right? What better way to get yourself back into a winning record, right? Is just, hey, we're going to take our best foot forward, very much like we talked about last time, right? Both of these teams, they need maps that they're comfortable on in order to get the job done. And we know that Thirdsite are comfy on Ancient. The problem is, what I didn't preface is that, yes, while they did go 6 for 6 within games in their last 20 played, the last 5 of them, none of which were on Ancient. So this is a team that hasn't played the map in a little bit, and because of that, they might have been a touch out of practice, or when you look at MRP, they simply came in here and they just had the gun diff, the gun skill diff, the trade diff. It was all over the place, the op diff, right? There was nothing you could do in terms of generating space. even when you talked about going through the ruined side, right, and saying, okay, well, why don't we try a B hit, right? It instantly got shut down. And I think we realized then why we knew Thirdsite were a little bit scared to test the waters over there, but it didn't really matter. You were stuck in between a rock and a hard place when you loaded into this map.
Yeah, definitely some things to work on. If you're Thirdsite, maybe, put Ancient in the scrim rotation coming up in the next couple weeks. But hey, it's okay. It's a minor setback. You're still able to improve from here. And I think at this point, your season on life support if it's not already dead at this point. But just try and finish strong and learn as many positive lessons as you can. But unfortunately, it was a quick one for us tonight. I mean, this might be a record for True North Studios coming in.
What, like 30-minute game? Not even
30-minute game. But hey, sometimes it goes like that in these best of ones in these main games. But it's okay, because if you're a little upset that your hit of True North Studios was a little quick tonight, we are going to be back on Thursday this week. And Patrick, I know you won't be joining us for Thursday's match, but that's okay. I believe it might be me and Phaser. So I know if you're out there and you're a fan of a Phaser not really having cast, you definitely want to tune in to the Mother Lovers versus Skyline at 9:30 this Thursday. Make sure you mark your calendars and come out to that one. It should be another great one here for us at True North Studios. And of course, I can't mention True North Studios without thanking the cast and crew. Thank you, Patrick, for casting with me. Always a pleasure to cast with you. And we got
likewise.
We got Varsiel on the sticks tonight in the director's chair. Phaser observing tonight, a man of many talents. Able to cast and observe. I mean, what more could you ask? And a Swiss Army knife, truly. Thanks, Carl, for the
somebody pick him up.
And yes,
pick him up.
And obviously, we want to thank you, the viewers, for sticking with us tonight, and of course, our partners over at Thirdsite and at Counterstrap for supporting our journey here at True North Studios. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us tonight. We'll see you on Thursday. We hope to see you then. Have a good night.